Hey, good morning, guys. It's Monday, July the 8th, 2019. Today's video is going to be something, we're going to kind of revisit something we talked a little bit about last year. Excuse me. And that being, I'm sure many of you have heard about it if you watch the news or whatever, try to stay current on things. You hear about this $15 per hour minimum wage. And a lot of fast food workers and stuff, with their signs and they're fighting and they really want this really bad. And actually, here in New Jersey, it was just signed into law that by 2024 we are going to have a minimum wage of $15 per hour. It's going to increase gradually every year until it reaches that threshold, and that's it for the time being. And I guess they'll reevaluate every year. So how do I feel about this? Well, in a previous video, I don't even know if it's still up on YouTube or not. I think I deleted it. We talked about a fast food worker at the fast food joint serves you your hamburgers and French fries versus a bank teller, a lead teller at a bank. And first off, there's a big difference in pay there. So we can use that example because it works again. I know some people that were lead tellers. I know what they make. It's right around $16 an hour now, or maybe even in some cases, some banks even pay $17 an hour to their lead tellers. So that's a base salary of about $32,000 to $34,000, and they could probably clear $36,000 to $38,000 with their bonus. Now, they basically their job is to be a teller. They help train new tellers. They have to know how to count cash, and basically, it's the same job as a teller. You're just a more experienced teller. You push credit cards and accounts and stuff like that. But that's why they have a sales and service specialist in those places too. So that's your lead teller job. Now I want to give an example. I was in a BK, we'll call it that, so I don't mention names, but I'm sure you guys know which fast food joint I'm talking about, BK, for a hamburger, a couple hamburgers and some fries and a sugary drink because I could feel my sugar level was down a little bit. I hadn't eaten much that day. And walked up to the counter, and they were starting to get a little busy. They had a lot of drive-through business that day. It's just me at the counter that day when I walked up, but they had, busy drive-through. This little girl who rung me up, she's taking my order. This is one of the rare times I actually paid with cash, too, because I normally pay with a card. But I had some cash on me, and I paid with cash. And she's giving me my change the whole time, my change, my receipt, and then she takes a little paper thing and puts it up where the people that prepare your orders can see it, and continues on. Now she hands me my cup, and in this headset she's taken an order from somebody that's outside at the drive-thru ordering their stuff. Meantime, she's grabbing a bag and filling an order for somebody that's at the drive-thru window waiting to receive their order. Then, I see her take fries out of the deep fryer and put them in the thing, in the plate. And then she fills the customer's order with fries. And then she happened to walk back and help make a couple of sandwiches because they were getting backed up because they were busy that day. I mean, all the while, my order was put together very quickly. She greeted me with a smile and was polite the whole time. And I couldn't have gotten better service, in my opinion, that I did in that restaurant that day. And to me, that kind of service is worth good money. Now, typically, so would I be supportive of fast food workers earning a $15 per hour minimum wage? Now, I will say this. I am a guy that tends to lean conservative, and I like capitalism and people building their businesses and such. But I am supportive of fast food workers and others that work really hard earning a $15 per hour wage. It is time that we got out of this idea that we need to spend $1 trillion or more on a war that's been going on for a generation. You have companies that have this thing called 401k. Now they can't pay their workers, their entry level workers, a $15 per hour wage, but think of all the money they pay. The accounting department has to pay out every single pay period for all these people with 401k when they match your 401k. Yeah. So we can't give these people that are entry level, that are doing all the hard work and the shit work, busting their asses every day. We can't pay them an adequate wage so that they can, have $31,200 a year and maybe go out and afford an apartment. Get the hell out of mom and dad's house. Have their own apartment and their own car and pay their own bills and maybe have a couple pennies to rub together after they get done paying for everything. But, these companies can pay out 401k, can match their, higher paid employees, because typically your older, higher paid employees are the ones that have 401k. But they can match up to a certain percent and pay out all that money every pay period. And it just doesn't make sense to me. It's a cop-out, and it's a poor excuse. Treat your people right, and it won't be a high turnover job. Now, I was visiting with one of my friends yesterday. You may notice there's only one back here on the desk behind me. There's only one tower now. I took the Dell Optiplex 980 I took to my friend Tom yesterday. Now, Tom is one of those Harley guys, got a ride on a Harley, listen to country music, Mr. Conservative, we do the Legion Riders, because our loud motorcycles help the veterans, whatever. I don't understand it, but whatever. I don't, I don't need to hear about motorcycles every time I go visit somebody. There's other things in life. He had a bunch of fishing poles over in a corner. Like, let's go get the poles and hop in the truck and go down and do some fishing. Haven't done that in 15 years. But Tom's a truck driver for a living. And I can relate. I'm in the logistics field. I don't drive a truck, but I am in the logistics field. He says to me, we got talking about this. And he says, oh, well, fast food restaurant jobs were never meant to be a full-time, never meant to be a career. Well, it's certainly not an easy job. You get in a truck and you shift gears. You drive. Anybody can drive. Anybody can learn how to shift a 10-speed transmission or a 13-speed or an 18-speed. Most of those transmissions with extra gears, you just split the damn gears anyway. It's not that hard. Anybody can learn how to do it, I would think. Your job is important. And I'm not saying that a truck driver's job is not important, so don't misinterpret what I'm saying here. And I'm saying we need to get our priorities in order in this country. This person is serving you a meal because you're too lazy to cook, or you're hungry and you're not near the house, or you need something done. How dare anybody have the arrogance and audacity to say that these people are not worth $15 an hour? That's bullshit. As a guy that leans conservative, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to pay these guys $15 an hour and you're going to replace them with robots. That's fucking bullshit. That is motherfucking bullshit. Okay? That's a cop-out. I don't want to hear that crap. One of the biggest problems we have had in this fucking country, and I remember Ross Perot talking about it when I was a kid. I wish I could have been old enough to vote for him, because that dude was incredible. And his VP, Admiral James Stockdale, may that man rest in peace, Vietnam veteran. He was funny as hell. I remember watching that debate, Oh, can you repeat that again? I didn't have my hearing aid turned up. Who am I? Why am I here? That guy cracked me up. But, excuse me. Ross Perot had it right when he had those charts and he did those little 30-minute, commercials in prime time. We have a problem in this country, and the problem is the ratio between CEO pay and worker pay. And we also have an arrogance in this country. Who decides what these people are paid? Now, I know this other fella. I've known him since he was a baby. I've known him all his life. And he works at a department store. He's a manager, or apparently in management, entry level manager's job, like assistant or whatever. And I go in that store, I see him in there quite frequently, and quite frankly, guys, I don't know what the fuck this guy does. Every time I see him, he's walking around. He's not talking to anybody. He's not talking to any of his subordinates. He's not sweeping the floor. He's not putting stuff away. I don't know what the fuck the guy does. You're going to tell me that somehow that job is more important and more valuable than a fast food worker's job? Give me a fucking break. So excuse my language, but we have a real arrogance in this country. And, we need to start valuing our people better. That's truly what putting America first is all about. And that's Americans of all shapes, sizes, and colors. That get up and work hard every day, that try to put themselves in the asset column, and they go out there and they do their job and they do it well. I don't care if you're helping pull teeth for a living and polishing teeth. I don't care if you're freaking serving me a damn burger. Your job's important too. And you know what? Instead of spending, what was it, $13 billion, $13 billion, as Mr. Trump would say, billion, $13 billion, because he doesn't say billion, it's always billion with him, on an aircraft carrier that was named after Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford never won an election. He took over when Dick Nixon resigned. But we have to name an aircraft carrier after him. We have to spend, over $1 trillion on a war that's been going on, a stupid war that's been going on overseas for almost a generation. This is absurd. All right? Now, when Afghanistan happened in September of 2001, you know what? I was 20 years old, 21 years old. If I had been in the military, I would have been one of the first guys they would have sent over there to die. All right? Now, I've got friends that I went to school with that have kids that are graduating from high school now because they started their families in their early 20s. They're a little young, but they start their families in their early 20s. Now their kids are graduating school and signing up for the military. And my hope is that their kids do not get sent over there to fight a stupid war that my generation was that age. That's pathetic. That war needs to be done. All right? We've got money. We always seem to find money as a nation to spend on that. But we can't make it so that these companies, we can't have some sort of rules in place so that workers are paid an adequate wage. Now, I know that's not, the job of the government to do that, but you know what? We also need to. I think if government regulation is going to come into play, that maybe there should be the ratio between CEO pay and worker pay should be a little bit less. Because that's nice if you can come out of the office for a day or two and do the hard work. But you know what? Let me see you do it for 3 years like I've done. Let me see at my current job, or 7 years like I did at my previous job. Because I always put my best foot forward when I do that sort of thing. Let me see you do it for years, like these people at these fast food joints. People can't do it. I don't believe people could do it. So, in closing, because since we're almost at 14 minutes now, and I want to enjoy the rest of my day off because we got a busy project going on at work, and I got to go back to work tomorrow. In closing, I just want to say this. Anybody that is willing to get up every day of their life really early and work really hard to put themselves in the asset column, I don't care if it's at the Double Arches or BK or any of these other fast food places, they're working and they're paying taxes. And the one thing we should prioritize as America, as a nation, is putting the American people first. Americans of all shapes, sizes, and colors. It don't matter. Let's put the American people first. And then anybody else that comes here and follows the process and wants to do right, who has the best interests of our country in their heart, I'm all for it with them too. Yeah, we got to start taking care of America because we've been neglecting America for a long time. You know, and that I can't sit back and point the finger at Barack Obama like so many of my conservative friends do. It's not all his fault. He had some good things that he did, and he had some stupid things that he did. All right? It's the same thing with this president, the guy that's in there right now. All right? I don't really think it matters who's in there. Any president, Trump, Bush, Clinton, they all do stupid stuff. Sometimes they get it right and they do some good stuff too. But, you know, we need to take care of our fast food people. We need to take care of our people down the bottom. And I am all for this $15 minimum wage. You companies want to contribute to 401ks for your higher paid employees so that they can pay less tax up front and their adjusted gross income goes down lower when they do their taxes and they qualify for more tax breaks. Isn't that almost like the union argument, how the union takes care of the people with the most seniority? You know, so I would say to my conservative friends that want to do that, you guys are just as freaking hypocritical as the damn Democrats with their unions and that just want to take care of their union employees all the time. So that's my thought on the matter. So anyway, that's my thoughts. And if you guys like videos like this, hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you back on the next video.